likelihood that I'll be able to sing if you can't see me. You know, stage fright. Fun stuff. Look at this little Christmas decoration. It changes colors. The whole point is that I'm making this with no experience. I've written music like my entire life. I just don't know how to make it sound professional. We're gonna see how it turns out. Unicorns are the shizzle, and you look great today. This is my Spotify Wrapped for 2020. What? That many people? What? This is so cool. I've always wanted to use this even if it doesn't mean anything. I started this project on June 5th, 2020. I'd just done something that I've been guilty of doing for years. I deleted a song that I had released for less than 6 months because I threw it together in 2 days by myself with no understanding of production or mastering, and I didn't even bother to check if it picked up background noises like my smoke detector, in case you didn't catch the smoke detector beep in Greenlight Avenue. I was using a $5 tripod mic. I didn't have an audio interface. Sometimes I'd just sit down and record an idea on my phone, hit the screw up button by just skipping over the editing process completely, and distribute it to the internet. Clearly, I was not trying my best. So from a beginner's level in 2020 to whatever I am now, this is me trying my best. If you're not one of the 1,000-ish people that have been here since 2013, I'm Kendall Gray. I'm 23. I love Dippin' Dots. I can't eat them, and I've been making things my whole life. I didn't have stage fright as a kid, and then I turned 13, and now if you put me in front of an audience of any kind, I will faint or black out.
It's actually Kendrick Lamar.
Stars recording.
She just turns off my phone.
But it's not for like a while.
Stop.
Just kidding. It's paused, and you turned it all the way down. Oh, you're crazy, dude.
I'm sorry.
I didn't even play it. I played it and paused it, and she still turned it all the way down.
Sorry. But that doesn't stop me from making things. I made my debut album by myself, mostly from my basement bedroom, where we currently reside. These are on the wall with thumbtacks. I didn't put them upright, so they don't really do anything. They're not even straight. If you want an update, I hung these with two-sided tape. But because it's just two-sided tape, every 6 or 7 hours one of them just plops off the wall. And when that happens in the middle of the night, I know they're just foam, but it's scary as hell. Because if I didn't try to make an album at least once, younger me would have been really sad about her future. I also just wanted to say hi. This is me making an album by myself with little to no music production experience, little to no budget, no studio, and a hell of a good attitude. Is it the best thing you'll ever hear? Probably not, but I'm proud of it. And I just wanted to prove that it's a doable thing. These are just the drafts that I've made in the last couple of weeks. Not exaggerated, I think I've made 50-ish songs since I started this project that I'm not even gonna use. To the friends that are like, release the unreleased music. No, they're bleh. It is day 671 since I came up with the idea of making an album, and I started like doodling the cover art. This hoodie is so soft. Making an album by yourself takes a lot of time. In that time, I recovered from a 200-day illness, which I think needs a name. What do we call that chapter? But now, these are the big projects I have left to do. One of them is the album, one of them is the documentary for the album, and this is the mural, which should be done any day now. This is the part I know, the easy part. I've been doing this since I was 5. My pattern to songwriting now is to pull lines and feelings and literary nonsense from my journals and then take off from there. Then I start playing with sounds, then I finish writing the lyrics. Are you ready for this? I'm ready for this. I've written an entry a day since I was 7 years old, and I have my whole life in receipts. Why let that go to waste, right? Not including the ones that I'm obviously filling out right now. This is my journal collection, but I have a whole bunch. It's about to be a late night. Trying to rewrite this song. Pinch of obsessive problem solving. Ooh. I have a gigantic bedroom, but somehow I still managed to give myself so little space. Can you guess how old this capo is? Just the A major chord reminds me of Bubbly by Colby Calais, because it's one of the first songs I learned to play and sing as a kid. The very first song was Rockin' Robin. I like that chord. I beg to differ, oh contrary to what you believe. I'll tell you right now. Nope. All does one. Properly record an instrument and not make it sound like crap. Why do I do this hand? I'm not Italian at all. Yay! You can let me know if the algorithm entails that we have the same taste in music. Here are the artists that I grew up on, / the artists that inspired the songs. 1. Sleeping at Last. Sleeping at Last songs were the first songs that I branched out and found on my own when I was like 11 or 12. I still love everything Mr. O'Neill makes. 2. Aquilo. I love Aquilo. And if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I still love them. 3. Frank Ocean, a lyrical god. 4. Bon Iver, a lyrical god with bonus poetic flair. 4. Please don't make me pronounce it, embarrass myself. 5. Phoebe Bridgers, of course. 6. Billie Eilish, of course. 7. Eden. 8. Holly Humberstone. 9. Daniel Caesar. 10. Novo Amor. And 11. Lennon Stella. I could listen to Lennon Stella sing on an endless loop and never complain. There you have it, my song inspiration. I'd give you more detail, but I don't want to make you sit through that. I know, the fun part. Some of you are actually just here for this part, so hi. I started this project thinking I could get by making it under an extremely tight budget. Incorrect. I was also barely employed at the time and living in Fantasyland. I still managed to learn what was a waste of money along the way, and what was actually worth it though. The DAW I used, or DAW. Do people just say DAW? I used Logic Pro 10 and Soundtrap.com. I bounced between them, but while I was learning, I was primarily using Soundtrap, especially for recording. I think Logic Pro 10 is one of the best choices out there, and you definitely don't need 2 DAWs. That was not only more expensive, but it made understanding Logic Pro like twice as hard. I used Soundtrap mostly because the vocal effects at the time felt less complicated. The whole thing was just a little more intuitive for beginners. But if I could go back, I would just stick to Logic Pro. 1, to save money. 2, so I could better understand how to use it now. It's still kind of a foreign language. The mic, an MXL 990 condenser that I've dropped on the floor countless times.
My new microphone rolled off the desk. Now he's got curves. It's alright.
It was around $100. With every song I made in the past, I just used my phone or a $15 podcast desk microphone. I thought recording with a towel over your head was a joke. It's not. This was certainly an upgrade, but the advice I'd give you, even though it seems obvious, is to invest in a stand and a pop filter at least. If you don't have a studio, there's the tried and true, put a blanket on your head. It works. I was gifted the standing sound booth, which changes so much, but that was after the album was done. I hold the mic. I hold this separately, and boom shakalaka. I recorded this album holding this mic in my hand and having to re-record everything because the sounds weren't consistent, or you could hear my hand like brush up against the mic. I'm telling you, I started out knowing nothing. The audio interface I used. Ta-da! Oh, he dusty. The audio interface, which is a box that connects microphones to your computer, in a nutshell, is a Scarlett Solo 3rd generation. I'm holding it weird. It's Focusrite brand. I think this was also $100 when I found it. Without them, you sacrifice audio quality that's noticeable to someone who doesn't even understand music production. This thing, I was so excited when this showed up. Look what came in the mail. Nerdy technology. If you know how to make music, then you know what this is. But this is the last piece I needed, and now I can get to recording. The last piece of technology is something that I swear by. Studio monitors. At least one on your left and one on your right. Again, at $100. I used PreSonus? I was an English major. PreSonus, yeah, studio monitors from Amazon. Should I link all these things in the description? Is that what professionals do? Something that'll save you a lot of time and variations of sound checks. Having the best sound system that you can afford to catch all of the nuanced details. Plus, if you like putting bass and subs in your songs, which I do, it makes it fun. I'm definitely using all of these next time. But first and foremost, a mic stand. Holding it in my hand was... I mean, I've seen other artists do that, but their mics are nicer, and I'm assuming that they knew more about post-production than I did. Next, a microphone made specifically for recording instruments best, like a dynamic mic or a small diaphragm mic. I'll show on the screen or something. Or this side. I don't know what this looks like. Trying to record instruments without the right mic or prior knowledge, you're either getting a non-reversible audio blowout with your low end, or the 4K frequencies are sharpened. Painful. Next, however you choose to master your songs in a project like an album or an EP, use the same method for all of your tracks. Otherwise, you're going to be dancing around inconsistencies for a long time. Unless you're cool with that, then ignore that advice. The 4th thing I wish I invested in more for this, help. Ugh. You are balancing on my sunglasses. This was a bowl of noodles and peas. Rice noodles. I can't have gluten or dairy or sugar or most processed things. This is the college I went to for 4 months. One of my main goals was to fall in love with the process so that when it was done, I'm like, that was worth the extra time that I put into it. And though I'm so happy that I'm doing that, it'd be nice not to be stage fright, just so that I could have a buddy, like someone who's pushing the buttons, someone who's giving me thumbs up, thumbs down, making other decisions for me, so it's outside of my brain. It's all happening in my head and in my ears, and I'm sending it to friends, and my friends are being really helpful and supportive, and I appreciate that, but there's no collaborative aspect of this whole thing. So I've always been a person who likes to do things by themselves. like creatively, or even in school projects, if it was a group effort, I was always that really annoying student that's like, no, I can do it. And this project is, I'm making it my own thing, but that comes with downsides. It's exhausting, and I am putting all this pressure on myself to have it done sooner because I told these really kind humans on TikTok in 2020 that I would have this ready, and I keep getting their hopes up and giving them little samples and stuff. But now that I'm doing that, I'm like pushing the due dates up on myself, and there are no due dates. The due date doesn't exist. But yeah, I'm tired and I want to love these songs. Who knows? Well, we'll see what happens. I'm getting a lot of support though, so thank you to all of you kind humans. I didn't think I was gonna record so much of this without makeup. 15-year-old me would be so proud. And that hanging chair, my grandpa taught me how to deadbolt, taught me how to hang things in the ceiling. And so I hung this chair on my own. He kind of helped, but I know how to do it now. It's May 15th, 10:26 p.m. Oh, I missed 10:23. Kendall. I mean, the whole point was for me to try to navigate as much as I could without help, but I've come to the evolutionary opinion that that was dumb. And when I occasionally did have help, it changed the game. I also wish that I had singing lessons at some point in my life, but maybe I'll do that later. Oh, this is Drops of Jupiter. It's gonna be.
I see it, and then I play it from what I see. I see the notes. In fact, I have trouble memorizing the song, so I have to see it. And you only have to hear it, and then you can play it, which I always wanted to be able to do. It'd be nice to be able to read music.
Wow.
This is the part where I actually had help. List of Vices and Tenfold, the songs that were out first, had their final mixes and mastering done by this talented individual. Follow, subscribe, stream, support. He even added the bass at the intro of Tenfold, i.e. the best part of the song.
Good morning. Big news. That really cool person that I said was willing to help me mix and basically give the magic to these songs that they desperately need, because I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I owe this human a car already. This is so cool. I've made it pretty clear so far that I barely speak the music language. I've been doing this type of thing my whole life, but never on a professional studio level. Having help is a huge deal, especially remotely, because recording in a studio is like what freaks me out, but being able to just send things back and forth, dreams come true. I just woke up and found this out, so I am stupid grateful. Do I look presentable? No. Am I in one of my favorite places ever again? Yes. Quick update on July 6, 2022. I am still getting lots of help from Logan S. I'm gonna call him Logan S because until he tells me how to properly pronounce his last name, I don't want to do it wrong. I'm gonna put it right here. He, ultra talented, also has music under the name The Perennial. I'm making a friendship bracelet. Now I get to have this amazing summer and collaborate with him from a distance. All in all, super grateful and amazed that it worked out like this. Basically what happened, I only knew how to write the song, come up with the ideas. Everything that was remotely mathematical, my room was not for. But I was willing to accept that it was my job to figure out how to do it. It would have taken me a lot longer to finish it, and it probably would have been borderline mediocre had it just been my job. But then, talented Logan Man offered to help me with all the hard parts and basically make this happen. I am so excited. And he's already sent me a draft of just the first track that I've sent over to him. I don't even know where to begin. I'm impressed. I'm excited. I just feel really, really lucky. And the more that I think about it, there is no better name I could have chosen for this album. Another word for grateful? Hello. I will get back to you with further updates, my friends. Want to say anything? You have anything to say? I've got paint on my hands. I'm doing a project. Speaking of projects, it is July 25th, and I'm about to listen to the final master of List of Vices for the first time. Quietly, though, because this is a house of naps. Why am I nervous? I made the song. Okay.
Take notice of her with hazel-colored eyes. You tell her your version of what.
Okay, letting a genius help me mix and master this was the right call. Oh my god. Thank you to Logan. And I still don't know how to accurately pronounce your last name. So, Oh my god.
The rest of the final mixes were me, but let me tell you, the hours I put into that part, I'm printing myself a certificate. For a couple years, I lived in 2 places. One of the places didn't have a sound system, so I did what all independent artists are familiar with, the car speaker test. Tried and true.
It's April 27th, I think, and it's the first car test day. I can't take the car very far because I'm still adapting to driving again, but I have really quality speakers, but then if I try playing it on a phone or in the car, it just sounds different, so I have to get used to balancing the volume out. Every time I'm like, yeah, this is loud enough, and it's not like washing everything out. It's not. So I don't have all the songs recorded, but it's giving me some perspective on how to set the other songs that I work on when I get to them, because one thing I know for sure so far in this album, it is harmony heavy. I warned you, I'm obsessed with harmonies, so there's like a lot of them in most of the songs. Sorry, not sorry, maybe harmonies will be my thing. Look at the weather right now. See those clouds? That's so lovely.
It's my second car speaker test day, and I told my dad what I was doing, and he's like, car speaker test? You have to make music on your own to know what the car speaker test is.
At this point, I can't stand the sound of my own voice. It's only because I haven't taken a break since my new mic and etc. showed up, so I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna paint. I'd say like 5 of the songs are almost done. They just need some touch-ups. 5 out of 12.
5 out of 12.
I was having the time of my life until the sun came out. Buzzkill.
Mastering, the final step, that part I loved and resented with equal measure. Everything was done, in theory, but then the levels weren't right. Some songs were so much louder than other songs. In fact, they're still not quite right. But I'll admit, I hit a point where I was like, it's day 1300, they're good enough. For most of these songs, I used Logic to do the final mastering, then threw them into Lander, which this awesome human let me use his account credits for that. Here is track 4, which is titled 4, before and after I used Lander for mastering.
Organize the year, chase the feeling, playing chasing cars again. We're singing if I lay here. It's all I can do, it's all that I know.
It's too quiet. It sounds a little bit like it's underwater. Just a bit. And then the vocals are kind of buried in the mix a little bit before you master things. At least that's what my songs ran into. And then post-mastering sounds like this.
Again, we're singing if I lay here. It's all I can do, it's all that I know. Your friends all embrace.
Everything's more present and forward. Sorry, my little light died. I gotta plug it in. Thank you for the huge help. For a couple of songs, I experimented by hiring Fiverr mastering engineers. Some were pricier than others, but they cut out sharp noises that the mic picked up that I couldn't figure out how to splice out on my own. And I watched all the YouTube videos. I studied EQ. They just helped me bridge the gap until I figured that one out. So if you don't know what mastering is, and you're a total beginner like I was, it's the final step. It brings out the loudness, the levels, your vocal presence, the things that you want to stand out, the things you don't. It's the final touches. Again, my best recommendation for mastering is just to use the same strategy across the board. Pick your favorite, roll with that. If I haven't made this clear by now, I have stage fright that looks like fainting, freezing, throwing up, or just running out of the room when one of my songs starts playing. I'm still figuring that one out. Hi, therapist. I wasn't like that as a kid, though.
Okay, tease me.
I tease you. I teased you, I guess.
Cheese.
Okay, keep walking, girlie. Keep walking.
But trying to promote your own music, though it can be excruciatingly awkward, is one of the independent artist fundamentals. So here are some of the things I did. List of Vices came out as a lead single to the album August 26th of 2022. And I thought I'd expand my comfort zones by premiering it for my best friends in the car while live on TikTok.
Good morning. Today, or tonight, is the day that List of Vices comes out. One of the 2 singles that comes out before the album does. And I'm so excited. I decided I was gonna say something other than I'm so excited all the time. I need a new word. Ecstatic. Same concept. Anyway, Tay and Tiffany are going to be reacting to it in the car moments before it drops, and we'll be live on TikTok when it happens. So I'm facing a lot of fears. Play anything I've created in front of my friends without like literally screaming or turning off the music like it's a phobia. And I figured there's no better time to try. If I scream, it'll be live on the internet. People can see it.
Okay. You want me to start it? I'm scared. Oh, I love the sound of that. Thank you.
The song literally gives sex.
Thank you.
Definition. That part is so good. Finally hearing it all be things together so
That
satisfying
sounds
because I
so
remember
good.
like me sending all of the little bits and pieces.
Oh, thank you. That was so nerve-wracking. I wasn't expecting 2 rounds. Tenfold came next, about a month later, as another lead single. I don't know if you still call it that if there's 2 of them, but I promoted that one differently. For that, I pitched to playlists. Hey Tiffany, I'm wearing your shirt and I'm in your house. Music bloggers and Spotify playlist curators and all these people that you can contact and like send your stuff to, your EKP or EPK or whatever it's called. It's like your portfolio type thing. You send them a nice message with that and your music samples, and then if they like it, they do something with it. So today, hopefully it's far away enough so you can't actually see the emails because I don't want to expose anybody. We're putting hours into homework. Tiffany doesn't have like a desk chair. She has a stool like that. My back is pissed. I didn't expect to get responses this fast, but I was accepted into one playlist for indie music, which, very cool. I got a few emails saying like, don't be discouraged, but this person rejected and this person rejected. So I'm going to respond to those. Thank you for hating it. Thank you. What? XOXO, you're cool for telling me no. Skip forward a few months while I take my braid out. I don't think I have help anymore. Nothing bad happened. There was just a bit of a financial hurdle that I couldn't provide. Like I said, I'm doing this with no budget, no experience. I'm a broke redhead. It's disrespectful to expect someone to put that much of their time into something and not show them that it's valuable to you, and I wasn't doing that. But as of January 2023, we are 3 years deep into this project. Yay, I can do it. That's my documentary update for Saturday. I keep changing the lyrics. I've rebuilt it from scratch, and over again, my brain just can't, you know, to be honest, I'm kind of tapped out. If I stop here, like, it still qualifies as an album, but barely. And I know that doesn't matter. Maybe I just need sleep. This album has been years in the making, and I have to say that as a songwriter, it's really weird to write songs when you're happy. Yeah. Here's a brief synopsis of what each song is about, in case you were wondering. List devices. I put this one together in 48 hours, and it was 100% inspired by this song. It's about witnessing the party phases in high school and all the reckless, addictive chaos. And the song duration is a bit longer because I wanted to try making a Frank Ocean style transition. If I were to give this song a rating based off of if I would actually save it into my own playlist, 6 out of 10. 2, Blinded. This one is my favorite. This one and 21. The sound, the mix, the weird synth-like guitar, because it's super reverbed. It's the closest thing to a vibe that I'd actually listen to. If you break down the lyrics in this, it'll make more sense, but it's about the dum-dums that broke the hearts of my favorite people. Like, if you tried, you could still have the greatest part of my life, i.e. the amazing people that I know. When I wrote this one, it was 2021, and so many of my friends were heartbroken and disappointed in romance. So through vicarious frustration, this song is an ode to the heartbreaking dum-dums. Personal rating, 10 out of 10. 9.5 if I consider my final mastering mistakes. The bass is a little funky over some speakers. I caught that. I'm sorry. Wait, no I'm not. I was a beginner when I made it. 3, Emotional Intelligence. You can tell I tried to transition between these 2 songs. My bad. This one's straightforward. It's about emotional intelligence and the pretentious things I've said about it in my journals. Most of the lines are pulled from things I said when I was 16, so yeah, they're dramatic. Music. The instrumental to this one I mixed for a cover. The cover was to Somewhere Only We Know, and it's been on my channel for like a year or so. Maybe you'll recognize the identical beats. The tempo reminded me of like a modern day slow dance prom song, and I ended up loving it so much that I stole it from myself. 5 out of 10. It feels imbalanced, but I still like it. 4. This one is weird. Some days I like it, most days it feels too much like radio pop for my taste. Or maybe I've just remastered this one enough times to melt my brain. I also didn't make the instrumental for this one. I snagged a license and reshaped it. This song is about Enneagram 4s, which I am. Hi. If you don't know what Enneagram is, it's a personality assessment. 4s are moderately to extremely dramatic individualists. Almost all of us are artists that over-romanticize everything like Anne of Green Gables. I've never related to a fictional character so hard in my life. Anyway, I like the concept of this song. I like the concept of the chorus and the way it moves, but my rating for it is also a 5 out of 10. 5, The Lesson. Composing and mixing MIDI piano for the first time and trying to make it sound good, that was hell on a Ferris wheel. This one might be the most vulnerable song I kept on the track list. It was the most recent addition too. To summarize, it's about taking on emotional responsibilities when you're really young, you know, like the heavy expectations and blah blah blah. Then growing up to be codependent, or people-pleasing, or a good old Mother Teresa complex. My therapist would high-five me for this one. Rating 7 out of 10. I had help correcting this and it's way better than it was, but the MIDI piano is still pretty muddy, and the vocals have moments of being almost shrill. I still couldn't get it right. I like it though. Tenfold. Ironically, this is my friend's favorite track that I've had out for a while, and it's one of my least favorite on the entire album. The sound quality, amazing. I had help with that. Again, thank you. The reason I give this song a 3 out of 10 is because it reminds me of like overly pop music meets feminine country music, and I think all music genres are art, but country is my least favorite. So yeah, my part in this song, 3 out of 10. Logan's addition to this project, 100 out of 10. Miserable Madness. This song is actually 2 separate licensed instrumentals strung together, and then I key changed it a little bit so that they'd pair well. Lyrically, I was going for a bit of a vent, but if the vent was directed by Daniel Caesar. It's about those people that are just addicted to the same misery cycle, and it goes beyond not being willing to break it. It's like they enjoy the constant state of crisis or drama. I was worried that the song would sound mean, but if names are not disclosed, hey, it is art. I'd rate this one a 7 out of 10. I thought my vocals weren't too shabby here. I also liked the concept. Did it meet my vision, though? Not exactly, but it's my first album. I'm still a beginner and I don't have a team of experts on deck. With that, I think I did pretty good. 8 Almond Joy. Teehee. This song has been rewritten 100 times. It's the first song I'd written on the entire album. The night that I wrote this, I was laying on my floor reading old journal entries from middle school, and it hit me that I wanted to write a song about what it felt like to be in a relationship as a kid, like elementary school, middle school kid. To not be able to afford anything for them, and hiding things from your semi-strict parents because they'll ground you for having a significant other at 12. Anyway, the line, I bought what I could from the drugstore, and wilted flowers my mom had to pay for, Dr. Seuss, were from that whole timeline. Headline, this song is about the boy that brought me Almond Joy candies to school every day because they were my favorite. Fun fact, that person is my boyfriend. So, belated thank you for the candy. I give the subject matter of this song 8 out of 10, but the final mix, 6. 21. This is my other favorite, easily. If I try to imagine that I'm listening to it for the first time as if it was released by someone who's not me, Phoebe or Billy or whomever, I'd save it to my playlist. Instrumentals get me first. This one was also the most meticulously layered. First, it's about being overwhelmed by fresh adulthood, how there's all this excitement to turn 18 or 21, and then you get there, and it's not what you pictured at all. The anxious undertones, but the melancholia, which is lovely. Wow. Would the Enneagram experts suspect that I'm a type 4 before I said anything? At this part in the song,
21 seconds till the fear will disappear.
that section is exactly 21 seconds. And I created these heavy siren-y type harmonies on top of the synth sounds. Would you call that an ARP? You know, the do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Because songs like that have alleviated anxiety for me in the past, so I wanted to create an effect similar to that. After that part, there's an outro that I made entirely out of a poem, and the melody of the outro was clearly inspired by White Ferrari by Frank Ocean. The outro to that song and the outro to this song are, you know, they're cousins. I'm not gonna lie and say that everything that I've thought of is completely original. I love this song. I'm giving it 10 out of 10 because it makes me happy. Epilogue. I've always wanted to end a project with an interlude length song that isn't a song. It's meant to sound like it's one part on tape and two parts underwater, but I did kind of muddy the effect again. The theme of the album in 2020 was gonna be cinema. I had a few songs that were very specific to that, but they've been pinned for later. The epilogue is the only song left that still plays the projection screen / camera sounds, and it branches off of 21, and it's another really brief poem of a really pivotal moment in my life. I think the vocals are a little too muddy. I was going for an effect. 6 out of 10. 5 out of 10. 5.5 out of 10.
I've listened to these 100 times or more. I don't know. I'm not actually counting that part. And I'm not tired of them. Like, this is music I might actually listen to. I'm not the type of person to listen to my own music, but I might surprise myself. I might start listening to my own music. The point is, I want to be proud of this. So I don't delete it because I deleted my other music, and I won't delete it. That is the pact I'm making here. If I'm putting in 2 years of effort, 600 and however many days to make something, I'm gonna put my whole heart and soul into it. So there is a huge chunk of you that I know got really excited and then thought that I was just teasing something that was never gonna happen and then left. If you found this later and you came back to it, hey, it will be good enough. I will love it. I am Knuff. It was just destined to be mine. It was one of the best birthday gifts ever. Gotta say. It's a happy November. I would rate the entire album as a whole, but if I parse it too much, I'll talk myself out of being proud of it. I'm not doing that to myself. In the 4 years it's taken me to make this, I clearly documented the whole thing, but I also built this cute little community of followers on TikTok, my little supportive team. That's where Greenlight Avenue came from, so thanks interwebs and friends.
After my lunch break, I didn't refocus the camera. Everything looks different. If it's a little bit blurry, I'm sorry, but the angle's probably different now. Allow me to make a boatload of excuses because I was on the boat and it sailed like a dream.
In this moment, I'm so grateful that I was raised to keep such a great attitude all the time, because it's day 924 and the external hard drive on my computer that I kept all the stems on practically blew up. I have to start over again. I get to start over again. 924 days worth of work is not even in the cloud. I looked in the cloud. I did. I rented the technology airplane. Wouldn't take me there. Whatever ends up on the album is gonna be new, or me trying to revive what already existed. Yay, attitude. Sprinkles, sparkles, unicorn.
1, just as I started writing it out, we moved out of my childhood home and a couple hundred miles away from my friends. That sucked. 2, I was sick for 200 plus days.
My ceiling has glow-in-the-dark stars. I have one of these with me at all times. I feel like I should start naming them. They're like my pets. I bring them on walks.
I stopped tracking it after day 200. I won't go into detail, but we prevailed. Then I became obsessed with learning to twirl a drumstick instead. 4, I got distracted by other fun projects. 5, I wrote a young adult fiction novel. I had a lot of time to think when I was sick. 6, this is 6 in ASL, I finished recording it the first time. Then I did like most of those songs a week later and started from scratch again. But now it is finally done.
It's dark and it's December 17th. It's day 1290 and I think the album's done. I'm so tired that I don't even know how to celebrate. The last couple weeks I've been working overtime hours so I can move in with my best friend in the spring. And on top of that, I've been going to the gym a lot. I've left myself no self-care time, and just in those little windows in the middle, I finished the album. And just like in this blur, I don't know what to think of it. It's surreal. I don't think it's really hit me that it's done. So I also haven't told anybody. And I'm scared to tell people. But what if I change my mind again? Perfectionism paralysis. What if I disappoint myself? What if I disappoint them? What if they're disappointed and I'm disappointed in myself because I disappointed them? What if I'm overthinking it? Yeah. You know, minus the promotional process and letting people know, making TikToks about it, YouTube videos, editing this documentary, putting it out into the world, it took me 1,290 days. Don't be discouraged.
You're not the bitch mama raised.
You know, it's glamorous if I'm filming you on my towel rack in a reindeer onesie, where you get a shot of my toilet with a sign that says hold handle down to flush. Made the sign myself. I'm wearing a onesie because it's onesie Sunday fun day. You know what that is. The album's done. It's finished. I did that. Are some parts completely subpar? Yeah. Am I totally proud of it? Yeah. Am I super terrified? Yeah. This has to be a totally different experience when you have like a team of people. I don't know, like a band, producers, mixing engineers, someone you just throw the song at and they're like, it's good, and they send it back to you. Doing it mostly solo and having like popcorn help here and there and then celebrating it this way. I don't know. I don't know if it just like makes it less real or more real. Anyway. Yep. Cool.
And then I gave him a little kiss like that.
You kissed Bradley Cooper in your dream?
French kiss. You know how
You French kissed Bradley Cooper in your dream?
What's weird is what we call French kiss has tongue, but a real French kiss is just like kiss on your cheeks.
Oh, so what do we call a French kiss?
I don't know. It's more like a Brazilian kiss.
What? Well, guess what? Do you have any guesses on the what?
Guess what?
Yeah, when someone says guess what, you guess the what, do you not?
What does it have to do with?
Something cool that is done now.
You finished something.
I did.
An album?
Maybe?
Did you?
Yeah?
Woohoo! Just did it today?
In the last couple days, yeah.
Yay!
Yay! I did it.
Felicitations! I don't think I said that right.
What is that?
It's congratulations in French.
Felicitation! Sounds like it'd be a spicy sauce.
I know, right? Felicitations. What are we gonna do to celebrate?
Make lemon bars when I come back.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Santa!
What? Oh, elf. I was sitting at my desk, organizing my dream careers in alphabetical order because that gives me 26 options to work with before I, Well, the top 5 hadn't changed since I learned cursive, and a good portion of my 26 have always been music related. Ergo, it crossed my mind that I hadn't tried to make music that I actually like. Put it out into the world, be a little terrible at it, own it, continue, get less terrible. If that's what you're doing too, hello. We meet in Building 2 on Thursday afternoons if you want to bring lemon squares. Making track 2 seamlessly transition into track 3 was a plan at the beginning. And then a year of tinkering passed and I realized that's a job for a sophomore album, Kendall. You can hear where I attempted to do that between those 2 songs. But it very clearly pauses.
The album's been out for about 30 seconds, and all I want to know is if track 2 blended into track 3 or if I failed that. Track 2 is blinded and track 3 is emotional intelligence.
Your entire world is blinded by you. If you try.
It worked! Hold on, when the car zooms, that's when it changes songs. It worked! Listen. I did that! Over here like, this beat is good. As if I didn't make the beat myself.
If you like the very first mix of your song, or even the first 3, that's not fair. The quality of your music doesn't always guarantee its success on the internet. Not everything will go viral even if it's your best. And sometimes the stuff that you're making just to throw into the interwebs that you care this much about, or you like it this much or less, Greenlight Avenue, surprises you with several thousands of likes, comments, and supporters the next morning. Don't tell yourself you're not doing enough or that you're failing. That's not how it works. If you're promoting your music completely online and completely alone, just post as much as you can. So far, that's the advice I've got. I'm still figuring it out. If you start to feel like you have to create new music out of obligation or to reach a certain quota, I'd pause. Every artist ever will tell you that that is creativity suicide. And in this process, I can tell you that that's true. I can verify. This is not a skill that can be mastered quickly. I think you can get really good at it really fast, and some people have a gift right out of the gate. But to go from where I was in 2020 to Phineas O'Connell, give me another 10 years of making subpar music for you. Anyway, did you really watch this whole thing? You're cool. If you've listened to the album, let me know. If you're here to make your own album, let me know. If you're a seasoned musician or producer and you're here to roast me, go easy on me. I didn't make this to impress anybody. I just love the process, I learned a lot, and I documented all of it. Why not share a little of the human experience? Artist edition. P.S. Thank you to everyone that supported this, rooted for me, and the patient people on TikTok who continued to comment really enthusiastic things for 3 years straight. That's crazy. I made a whole album. Like a real one.
That was beautiful. Do another one.
Okay.